Alright, so we're going to be looking at solving quadratic equations by factoring. So for a linear equation, we only had an exponent of 1, or we had x just by itself. So we could easily solve that to find out what x equaled. And we get that x equaled 4. So that's our one solution to a linear equation. But a quadratic equation is going to have an exponent of 2, and it's going to have two solutions, two x's that can work for this. And so there's two ways to do it, and we're going to learn the first way today, and that's using a zero product property, which says that a times b equals 0, and if that's true, then a has to equal 0, or b has to equal 0. So if we have an a and a b, and they equal 0, then I can set those equal to 0 to find out what my two x's would be. So let's look at this. Our first thing is we want it to be in standard form, which would be x squared plus 3x minus 28. That's standard form. This one's not because it's already factored completely for us. It's already gone all the way to step 1 and 2. So it is set to 0, so it has step 1 done. Step 2, it is factored. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that 3x minus 4, and we're going to take that 3x plus 5, and we're going to set it equal, each of those equal to 0. So I'm going to add 4 to both sides. Divide by 3. X is, one of the x values is 4/3. The other one, subtract 5, 3x equals negative 5, divide by 3. The other solution to this is x equals negative 5/3. If I plug 4/3 into this for these x's, it will equal 0. If I plug in this negative 5/3 into that x, it will equal 0. So let's look at another one. So is it set in standard form to equal 0? Yes. So now I need to factor it. Can I pull anything out? No. So I'm going to do my sum of 3x. My product is negative 28x squared. So negative 1 times 28, negative 2 times 14, negative 4 times 7. There is my 3. This part we've already done before, so we should be good on. Both of those should be x's. My lead term is x squared. My third term is negative 28. Factor it out, and I am going pretty quickly, because you can always pause this video if you need to. So my two factors are negative 4, x minus 4, and x plus 7. So to find my two solutions to what x could be, I'm going to set each of these to equaling 0. So add 4. X could equal 4 minus 7. X could equal negative 7. If I plug 4 in, 4 times 4 is 16. 4 times 3 is 12. 16 plus 12 is 28. 28 minus 28 does equal 0. I can do the same thing with my negative 7. Negative 7 times negative 7 is 49. 3 times negative 7 is negative 21. 49 plus negative 21 is 28. 28 minus 28 does equal 0. So just plug them both in. Number 3 is not set to 0. Not set to 0. I can see that, so I need to take care of that first. I want this to be equals 0. To get that 16 to 0, I need to subtract 16. So I'll subtract it from both sides. That leaves me with 4x squared plus 30x minus 16. So we're going to go ahead and factor now because I now have my equation. I can pull out a 2. So I'm going to have 2, 2x squared plus 15x minus 8 equals 0. Now I can factor it even further by finding my sum, which is 15x, my product, which is negative 16x squared. So negative 1x times 16x, negative 2x times 8x, negative 4x times 4x, negative 1 and 16 give me my 15. So negative 1x, 16x, 2x squared, negative 8. So 2x, negative 1, x, and 8. So we have 2, oh, I forgot my 2 out front, sorry. Can't forget that 2 out front. 2x minus 1, x plus 8 equals 0. I have 3 factors there. I have a 2, a 2x minus 1, and an x plus 8. So I'm going to set each of those equal to 0. So well, 2 does not equal 0, so that's not a possible answer because 2 doesn't equal 0. This one, I add 1 to both sides. Divide by 2, and I get x equals 1/2. So one of my solutions is x equals 1/2. Subtract 8 from both sides. X equals negative 8. So x equals 1/2 and x equals negative 8 are my 2 solutions. All right, let's look at number 4. Number 4 is not set to equal 0, so I'm going to go ahead and subtract that 6x from both sides to get my 0. I can pull out a 3x here. So x minus 2. That can't be factored anymore. So my 2 factors are 3x, which I'm going to set to equal 0, and x minus 2, which I'm going to set to equal 0. Divide by 3, divide by 3, x equals 0. Plus 2, plus 2, x equals 2. The area of, so those are my 2 solutions, sorry, x equals 0, x equals 2. So let's look at number 5. The area of a rectangle of a room is given by the equation, where W is the width of the room. So find the width. So I'm going to set this equal to 0. Subtract 170 to get it to be 0. Factor what I can, so I'm going to factor out that 2. So my sum is negative 12. My product is negative 85. So negative 1 and 85. 2 can't go in it. 3 can't. 4 can't. 5 can. I think it's, 5 goes into 8 once. With 3 left over. 17. 6 can't. 7 can't. 8 can't. I think those are the only ones. But I have to notice, negative 5 plus 17 doesn't give me a negative 12. So I have to move my negative over. So I have 5x, negative 17x. W squared, it's my lead term, negative 85. We should be good on that part because we did this, we just took a test on it before the break actually. And that should be W, not an X, I'm sorry if that confused you. Pull out my W's, pull out the 5, pull out the negative 17. So I have W, I have a 2, W plus 5. W minus 17 equals 0. Sorry, I just noticed my mic was down. Hopefully that didn't cause any problems. I'm going to set all my terms equal to 0. So 2 equals 0. W plus 5 equals 0. W minus 17 equals 0. Well, 2 can't equal 0, so that's not a possible answer. Subtract 5 from both sides. W equals negative 5. Add 17 to both sides. W equals 17. So those are my two possible answers. But if I go back and read this problem, we're talking about a width of a rectangle. Can I have a negative 5 for a width? No, I cannot have a negative answer for a side length. So my answer is the width is 17 units. Because it can't be negative 5 units. Alright, so this was the lesson for today. I kind of went through it pretty quickly. You can rewind if you if you need to rewatch something. If you have questions, send them to me. The homework is due tomorrow by 8 o'clock. Alright? I will attach it to the video.